Thank you, David, and Khonsu Zampala, everyone. It's such a great honor and pleasure to be here at the conference among the deep holders of wisdom. I'm Maggie Zhao from University of Hong Kong. Like the first speaker, I'm also not a Buddhist scholar, but my field is psychology. I'm a positive psychologist and a well-being scientist. I've been studying happiness and well-being and human flourishing for more than 10 years, and today I hope to offer a perspective of psychology about mindfulness for happiness and harmony, and to do so with deep respect for the Buddhist wisdom, especially Vajrayana. The teachings really had a profound influence on me. Some of you may have noticed that photo. This is the photo I took last year when I visited Punakha Zone in Bhutan. The zone standing at the confluence of two rivers. Feel like to me like a metaphor for my talk that is about bridging the Buddhist wisdom and the psychological science. So my journey with mindfulness began with not just the lecture halls or research labs, but also meditation cushions. Through doing retreats and listening to many Dharma talks, mindfulness to me become not just an intervention or a technique, it is a way of living. So today I share from the intersection between the East and the West, just like myself as an Asian-based researcher and got training in the West. And also I hope to bring the perspective from my scholarly work, my reflections, and also my personal experience. So what is mindfulness? Whether we come from the lens of the Dharma or psychology, mindfulness invites us to pay attention, not just to what we are doing, but to how we are being. As Dzongsa Khyentse Rinpoche in the Bhutan Innovation Forum said, acknowledging that we have a mind is the foundation for mindfulness. To me, the scientific language of psychology and the lived wisdom of Buddhism are not separate worlds. They are different ways of seeing, and each offers insights that could enrich the other. So when we speak of mindfulness today, we often hear it in secular contexts, used to reduce stress or improve focus, but the roots goes much deeper. So in the Pali Canon, sati or mindfulness is not just about present moment awareness. It is an essential part of the holistic path, one that includes ethical conduct, meditation, wisdom, and compassion. This path is aimed at not just for feeling good, but also about seeing clearly, living ethically, and ultimately freeing the mind. So across various Buddhist traditions, mindfulness is practiced in the context of larger aims like awakening, liberation, and compassionate action. Especially in Vajrayana, as practiced here, mindfulness offered powerful methods to transcend duality with a pure perception. And in recent decades, contemporary science, particularly psychology, has begun to engage deeply with these traditions. We now see, for example, mindfulness-based interventions being used in healthcare, in education, and in therapy, with research showing the benefits for stress reduction, emotion regulation, attention, and even about brain plasticity. So this is where I see a useful metaphorical analogy that I like to think of psychology is a little bit like a Western medicine. It is focused, evidence-based, often offer a quick fix for the daily struggles. From the lens of relative and ultimate truths, we might say psychology operates more at a relative level, offering tools to help people to cope, to function, and to grow in the daily life. So mindfulness is often framed as a tool for reducing stress, anxiety, and depression. But while this is true, but this is not the full picture. This is only part of the picture. Just as well-being is not the absence of ill-being, alleviating suffering is not the same as nurturing flourishing. So in one of my papers, I explored the relationship between surviving and the thriving, and I found the thriving and so ill-being and well-being, they are related, but they are distinct from each other. So rather than seeing mindfulness as a way to fix what is wrong, we can start seeing it as a way to nurture what is right, to build inner wisdom for lasting happiness. And also in recent years, research has started to explore the positive psychology side of mindfulness, its role particularly in fostering well-being and thriving. Positive psychology defines happiness not just as positive emotions, but also involves, for example, meaning, engagement, relationship, and accomplishment. Also, studies have shown that regular mindfulness practice is linked to greater life satisfaction, emotional balance, a stronger sense of purpose, and compassionate relationships. So mindfulness is not just a tool for alleviating suffering, but as a pathway for promoting human flourishing. That said, more research is needed to understand the full range of benefits mindfulness offers. So mindfulness not just offers the healing benefit, but also it has potential for flourishing. And in particularly, the role of harmony, a concept deeply rooted in traditional mindfulness teachings, has been underexplored in the contemporary psychological science. So it presents a rich opportunity for future work. Now let's turn to the idea of harmony, a quality that sits at the heart of many wisdom traditions, but has received little attention in psychology. In Buddhist thought, harmony arises through right conduct and balanced living. When we let go greed, hatred, and delusion, the mind becomes more open, more settled, and more connected. Also, harmony doesn't stop at the individual level, it extends outward. There is a profound understanding of interdependentness or interconnectedness, which invite us to live in ways that are aligned with our non-harming, not only toward others, but also towards the nature. So harmony is cultivated both within the self and also beyond the self, bridging the mind and the heart, the personal, the interpersonal, and even the ecological. And recently, positive psychology is beginning to catch up. Research shows that harmony is universally valued across cultures. It is closely linked to well-being and flourishing, mental health and sustainability. And despite this very important content, but harmony remains understudied and under-recognized in the study of psychology. So this gap suggests a real opportunity to bring the Asian wisdom and modern science into deeper dialogue so that we can better understand how harmony contributes to flourishing at every level of human experience. Also, throughout the conference, harmony is the word that comes again and again from the opening dinner to the presentations yesterday. Here is how I define harmony. This is a framework about harmony I've been recently developed to understand harmony not just as a feeling, but really as a core dimension of human flourishing. And I see harmony has three core facets or elements. The first one, I call it the coexistence, which is about peaceful and respectful presence with mutual respect and acknowledgement. It's the ground of non-harming and compassionate awareness. And my second facet is coherence. It's more about the resonance, the resonant alignments, and the unity. So I consider myself as part of the greater whole. And the third element is continuity. It's really about the dynamic process of adaptation, balance, and sustainability. So together, the three facets offers a fuller picture about harmony, not as something stillness, but really as a dynamic process, as an active and evolving way of living. Also, these three facets operate at three levels. I call them me harmony, we harmony, and the eco harmony. So now I invite you to take a breath, to gently bring your mind about what harmony means to you within yourself, with others, and with the nature. And let me give you some example here. One is about we harmony. So in Buddhist villages, neighbors really naturally support each other. Really, I feel the community flows like a family, really strong sense of trust and interconnected well-being here. Also, Bhutan offers a powerful example of eco-harmony, being carbon negative and also protecting the species like the black-necked cranes really well. So far we've looked at harmony as a key dimension of human flourishing. Let's also explore how mindfulness and harmony connect theoretically, empirically, and culturally. Theoretically, mindfulness has often been promoted in psychology as a tool for stress reduction or emotional regulation. But if we return to the roots in Buddhist teachings, mindfulness is far more than that. It is a pathway for a harmonious way of being. Mindfulness is not just a means for surviving modern life, but a foundation for living in balance with ourselves, with others, and the world. Like I mentioned, it doesn't only offer healing benefits, but also about flourishing. Empirically, studies have shown that mindfulness supports a wide range of benefits, not only effectively, like an increase over emotional resilience, but also cognitive benefits, such as attentional stability and behavior outcomes, like reduced aggression, greater self-control, social effects like empathy, compassion. Thank you. And even environmental engagement, like a greater sense of connection with nature. And of course, these dynamics are shaped by culture. So in Western psychological models, mindfulness is often framed within the lens of individualism, emphasizing personal regulation and personal independence. In the East, traditional Eastern frameworks place mindfulness within the web of interconnectedness, interdependence, where the mind is cultivated not just for the self, but for the benefit of all beings. So West and East traditions, each has different focus. One is more me-oriented, the other is we-oriented focus. This cultural difference can shape how we understand, teach, and apply mindfulness. A more integrated approach, drawing from both empirical science and contemplative wisdom, can help us better understand and appreciate mindfulness as a culturally grounded and a context-sensitive pathway to harmony. Towards the end of my talk, I would like to share two broad invitations toward a vision of co-flourishing, where mindfulness nurtures harmony not just within, but beyond the individual. The first invitation is about to integrate contemplative wisdom and science. There is deep potential in bringing together the insights of contemplative tradition and the scientific inquiry. Dialogue between these worlds invites us to explore not just what works, but why and for whom. Scientific methods can help clarify and communicate the transformative power of this practice, while lived experience ensures that we don't lose the depths and also the nuances. So we need both data and the depths, both meaning and the method. The second invitation is to collaborate to support global and planetary flourishing. Mindfulness that fosters harmony does not stop at the self level. It extends into our systems, how we care for our community, the earth, the future generations. Bhutan's gross national happiness has shown the world what this looks like in action. This is not just personal practice, it's planetary care, planetary flourishing. And this broader view of mindfulness invites us to rethink flourishing as something we do together. Recently, I had a chance to write a short piece for Nature, calling for stronger global collaboration around shared human flourishing. It will be published soon. I'm really delighted to first share this here with all of you. So as I come to the end of my talk, I want to return to the heart of it. This path bringing Buddhism, wisdom, and the psychological science is not just only about the ideas or research. It's about remembering our shared humanity, our shared planet, and the possibility of shared flourishing. Mindfulness, when rooted in harmony, become more than a practice. It becomes a way of being together, not just about surviving. It's about thriving collectively, wisely, and compassionately. So if you would like to stay in touch or collaborate on research or continue this dialogue, you're welcome to scan the QR code here. And thank you again. May we walk this path of harmonious, flourishing together in heart and in action. And Jessie Delay.